If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss the next one. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little experiment with Fixer, and I've set this little scene up here to take photographs of. And this video is coming from a comment that I received from a YouTuber called Airscrew1 in relation to one of my previous videos where I was developing film and I was making sure that the fixer was bang on 20 degrees. And he came through and he said, you know, it doesn't matter, you can go a few degrees over, it's not as important as the temperature of the developer. So I asked him and said, what would happen if, or do you know what would happen if I had my fixer at a temperature of say 30 degrees? And he said, yeah, he said you'd get on the film something called grain reticulation, basically shitloads of grain all over the film. You wouldn't necessarily notice it on the negative, but when you go to print you'll notice that your print has got a lot more grain in it just through having the fixer at a higher temperature. So it's something that I have seen before online and read about, but I've never experimented with it. And this is the sort of thing I would do, is experiment with stuff in the darkroom off camera. But this time I thought I'd bring the camera out and for you guys to see what would happen in the development if the fixer was at 30 degrees. So I've got here my Nikon F90X and I've got a roll of TX400 in there, Kodak TX400, and I've got about 25 photographs left inside this camera. So I'm going to burst all of them on this scene here, cut the roll into 3 sections, develop them identically apart from the fixing stage where I'll have 3 different temperatures of the fixer. I'm going to have a normal temperature at 20, I'm going to have one at 25 and one at 30 degrees. So just so we can see the difference, and then I'll make some prints in the darkroom so we can see this grain reticulation. It might be arty, it might be a waste of time, but it's something I haven't done, so I'm going to try it out. And if you guys want to come along on the ride with me and see what happens. Okay, so now it's time to take the photographs. You can see it's window light coming in, which is lighting the scene. And just use my tripod. I'm using 60th of a second shutter speed at f8. So I'm just using my tripod for a bit of stability. And I'm just going to burst off the rest of the roll. 4, 5, 6. That's it. So I'm just rewinding the film back now. I took 21 photographs there, and let's rewind back. I took 21 photographs, so all I need to do now is get in the darkroom and cut it into 3 sections. I've only got 2 developing tanks, so I'm going to have to put 2 sections into each developing tank and then keep another one inside the film canister for the 3rd development. So let's get on with that now. Let's put this into 3 sections, put it into 2 different tanks, keep 1 strip in the canister, and then I'll develop that afterwards. Right, so this looks pretty messy. So I've got my fresh fixer there, I've got stop bath, I've got my X-Tol that I'm going to be using to develop. I've got 2 jugs for my fixers, one for 20 degrees, one for 25. This is my stop bath jug, and this is where the X-Tol is going to be in here. So I've a couple of thermometers as well. If you see me using 2 thermometers, I'm testing out this digital one against my trusty old mercury one. So, or if it's mercury, I don't know what it is. The glass one. So that's why I've got that there. But so my X-Tol is going to go in this jug. My stop bath's going to go in there, and my fixer is going to go in these 2. And these are my developing tanks, if you like, so the spirals. So let's get these sorted out first. That's that one. This is the second one. They're both old, they both leak, but they work, apart from leaking. That's that one. Okay, so there's my 2 developing tanks. This is the film camera. Get the film out. There's the 400 Tri-X there. Camera can go away. And there's a melon, and I don't know why there's, well, I might eat that later on, but melon's nothing to do with it. So all I need to do is take the film out of here, cut it into 3 strips, put one in there, one inside a film canister for the 30° fix. So let's get on with the first 2. So the first thing I'll do is mix my X-Tow up, get that in this jug. So I'm gonna these take 400 millilitres each. So I'm gonna make 800 millilitres of X-Tow. That's 1 part, sorry. So it's 1 part X-Tow to 1 part water. So 400 millilitres of X-Tow, 400 millilitres of water. So let's put that in now. This will be at standard 20 degrees. That's X-Tow. And I'll put another 400 millilitres of water in there, which I'll measure separately. In it goes. So there's my developer, my stop bath, there's my stop, and here goes my fix. So this one's going to be at 20 degrees, I'm going to make this one at 25, and then the next one we'll do at 30. So let's just check the temperatures of these. Okay, so I've got the first fixer cooled down. This is 19.6, so this is room temperature. Once I've done the 10-minute development, that should come up to around about 20, which is going to be fine. Next thing to do is to warm this one up, because this is under temperature, coming in at just over 23. So I need to warm this one up to 25 for our experiment. And hopefully you can see that I've just put it in the microwave literally for 10 seconds, and it's 25.8. So that's good enough for me. It's near on 26, but that's okay, we can work with that. So let's get on with the development process, and then we'll do the stop and the fix. So let's get prepared to put the X-Tow in. The fix here is at 20, this one is at 25.9, which is fine. It's only an experiment to see what the difference makes with a warmer fixer. So let's set the timer. I'm going to do 10 minutes of development, so we'll just start pouring the development in now. 400 in this one, 400 in this one. I've got 800ml here. There's 400 in there. And 400 in that one. Start the timer. Like a cocktail bar. Okay, so I'm going to go through, turn the camera off now, get this development done, and I'll turn it back on when we're doing the stop and the fix. Empty the development out. In goes the stop bath. Just a minute in there. Just constantly agitate the stop. This is how I develop anyway. I told you these things are leaking. Let's get those on tissue before the wife comes home. Okay, that's the stop bath done. Now for the last part. So this fixer is at 20, just over 20 degrees, 20, not even 20.1. This one is 25, just going up to 25.7. So that's good enough. I'll set my timer for 5 minutes. I'm going to do 6 minutes in the fixer actually. 6 minutes. That's the warmer fixer. That's the normal 20 degrees fixer. Put the lids on. And let that go. Okay, so I'm going to turn the video off now, you get the idea, and I'm going to wash, fix them, and then I'm going to wash both films, hang them out to dry and get the other one out and do that at 30 degrees. Okay, so that's the fixing done. I've just warmed up the second lot of fixer, or the third lot of fixer, which is just creeping up now to, as you can see, 30 degrees. I might warm that up a little bit so it's just a bit over. Now with those two rolls washed and now drying, I'm about to do the third strip at the 30 degrees fix. So let's get the X-Toll in there, develop the film first. There it goes. And the X-Toll was at 20 degrees by the way, so just for record there. Okay, off we go. So I'll turn the camera off, do the stop and show you the fix, and get the three strips dried, get in the darkroom and see what the negatives look like. Okay, so the films are now, I don't know if you can see me, but the films are now drying, and this is the 20 degrees fix, this is the 25 degrees fix, and this strip here is the 30 degrees fix. So a little bit Mickey Mouse the way I've hung them up, but I'm not too proud of the images, so it's just a test that I'm playing around with. So let's get these dry, get in the darkroom and see what the differences are. Okay, so the film's dry now and here they are hanging up already, and I've just done a couple of test strips on each one. This is the 30 degrees fixer, this is the 25, and this one is normal at 20. And I've already done 1, 2, 3 tests against each strip. So, but the only real way to see it is to make a 10x8 on each one and then have a look at the print itself. So let's get on with, first of all, the 20 degree fix here, and they're all the same photograph. And if you're wondering to yourself why I'm handling the negatives like this, well, I don't want to keep the photograph, it's just a test and experiment, so I'm not going to sear and start putting gloves on, etc. Just for this. Sometimes it's quite fun as well to be a little bit carefree in the darkroom, unless you're doing something important. Right, let's stick that in now. Right, so the negative's sitting happily in the enlarger, so I'll just put a piece of 10x8 Ilford multi-grade resin paper and make the first print. So this is the 20 degrees fixer at 20 degrees, and you can't tell the difference on the negatives, just as the comments said. So let's burst that off, 25 seconds. And then we'll stick it in the developer. In it goes. Right, so that's my little experiment done. I've got the prints now hanging out to dry, and looking at them, this is the 20 degrees, this is the 25, and this is the 30 degrees in the fix. And I can't, to be honest with you, I can't actually see a difference between any of them. They are all each a little tiny bit grainy, probably because I was using the TX400 and maybe the way I was developing. I don't know, but they all do look a little tiny bit grainy. But I think the only way I'm going to find out is to take these, when they've dried, put them on a scanner, scan them into the computer and have a little look and see how they come out. But at the moment I can't see much of a difference, to be honest. But as I say, this is just a little experiment that So I faded to black there on that video, and I couldn't see a difference between any of them three prints, to be honest with you, even though the final fix was at 30 degrees. So this time I'm going to do the experiment again, exactly the same scene. This time I'm going to use Ilford's FP4, and I'm going to take 15 photographs, cut it out of the camera. This time I'm going to put the whole strip into one development tank, so it's all developed the same. And then in the darkroom I'm going to cut it into 2 strips this time, not 3. And I'm going to use my 2 developing tanks for the fixer. One's going to be at 30 degrees and the other one's going to be at 50 degrees. So we'll just be interested to see how it comes out. Hopefully I can get some results this time. That's it, 15 taken. That was 1/60th of a second. I didn't use a tripod this time, so but I'm not too bothered about sharpness or any shake. I just want to see if this grain comes up. Okay, so I've developed the film now, and all in one tank, and now in the darkroom after the development I cut the film in half, put it into 2 different tanks for the fix. This one is at 30 and this one is at 40 degrees, and you can certainly feel it, it's quite warm. So it'll be interesting to see how these negs come out afterwards. Obviously we know what the 20 degrees is going to look like. We're looking for this reticulation grain, so let's carry on fixing, get them washed, dried, and in the darkroom. So I've just done two prints, one at the 30° fix and the other one at the 40° fix, and I can't see any difference between the two of them, to be honest. So I'm wondering whether I can get this reticulation in the darkroom on the paper instead of the film. So this time I'm going to do one more print, and I'm just going to put it through a normal stop bath, a normal development, normal stop bath, but the fixer I'm going to heat up to quite hot. I'm going to make it quite warm using the microwave and just see what happens then. Okay, so you've seen I've heated the fixer up here to over 40°, so I'm just going to try and see what happens when I shock the paper by taking it out of 20° developer and stop and then into twice as hot fixer, because I did read that reticulation can happen when you take it from a normal temperature bath to a over temperature bath. So let's see what happens this time. So that kind of brings me to the end of the video, and my tests on grain reticulation. Now, I certainly couldn't produce, if I did I hadn't seen it, on the film development side of things at 30° fixer and 40° fixer, and then I decided to do it inside the darkroom on the paper where the development and the stop was at 20°, and then I put the fixer at way over 40°, and this is the result here, and I can't see it here either. Now, I've seen images of this online, and you can Google it yourselves and have a look, and it just looks like massive golf ball grains on the paper. So I don't know how old or whether technology has changed, whether the film bases have changed since, or whether the paper bases have changed to kind of eliminate reticulation grain, but interesting test for me to do, and I look forward to your comments anyway to see if anyone's accidentally done this or whether you've done it on purpose, and let us know how you've achieved it. It's not something really that I'd want to achieve on any of my prints, but I was just interested to know how it would affect my film or prints. So anyway guys, hope you liked the video. Like it, share, subscribe and all that, leave a comment, and I'll catch you next time.